Hello everybody, my name is Brianna Bilo and I'm a meteorologist here with the National Weather Service office in Grand Junction, Colorado, and this is your December 2024 monthly climate summary. So starting off for our story of the month, we have our snowpack snapshot. So now that we are officially into meteorological winter, it's good to kind of check in with where our snowpack stands, particularly because we started accumulating snowpack back in like September or October. So taking a look at this image here, you can see that this black line here is the 2025 trace so far. This orange line is the 2024 trace, and the green line here is your median. And so obviously we are still quite a ways away from the time of our peak snowpack, which is usually right around the beginning of April. But thus far, we're not doing too terribly bad as far as our snowpack. Averaging it out, we're pretty close to normal. And as we move into January, hopefully we'll continue to see at least several minor storms to continue keeping that snowpack right along that middle line rather than going for longer periods of drier weather punctuated by a handful of bigger storms. But I don't know, we'll see. I mean, the 2024 snowpack started off below normal until we got a handful of really good storms in January that bumped us up to close to normal. So there's still quite a bit of winter left, but as it stands right now, this is where we are at, which is close to normal, which isn't a bad thing. Looking at our temperatures for the month, our highest highs were 59, which occurred both in Cortez and Montrose on the 29th, with our lowest highs being 47, which occurred in Craig, Rifle, and Vernal. Craig on the 29th, Rifle on the 17th, and Vernal on the 23rd. A little bit scattershot with the month of December, as we definitely had a lot of fluctuating around with periods of well above normal temperatures and periods of near to slightly below normal temperatures. So not surprised not to see these all clustered around a single date. Looking at our lows for the month, our coldest low was -5 in Craig on the 11th. Our warmest low was 18 in Grand Junction on the 10th. And these ones we do see a little bit more of that clustering with a period between the 10th and the 12th, and then also a secondary period here on the 31st. Those were mainly associated with the two really good storms that we had during the month of December, followed by some colder air. As far as precipitation is concerned, at least as far as our 10 climate sites go, understandably these don't represent the whole area. Most of these are located in valleys, and precipitation in valley locations can be drastically different from precipitation in mountain locations. As we saw with the snowpack trace, we're actually close to normal as far as the mountain snowpack is concerned. So, but as far as the valleys are concerned, it was below normal across the board. The big winner this month was meager with 0.69 inches of precipitation, nice, which was just under 0.2 of an inch below normal. At the bottom here, we had Canyonlands, who managed to accumulate an entire trace throughout the month of December, which was a little over 0.5 inch below normal. And our greatest departure actually was Cortez, where they received just 0.03 of an inch, which was almost 0.8 of an inch below normal. So definitely, as far as the valleys are concerned, not the best month for precipitation. Moving into our drought update, taking a look at the most recent drought monitor, we can definitely see areas of drought creeping into the region with this patch of moderate D1 drought along the northeast Utah, northwest Colorado border, and areas of D0 abnormally dry conditions starting to fill in across the lower areas of eastern Utah and western Colorado, particularly the Four Corners area, southwest Colorado, southeast Utah, and northeast Utah and northwest Colorado. The areas that remain drought-free are mainly associated with our mountains. So these are you know, northern, central, and southern mountains, and then some of the higher terrain surrounding it, which has been doing fairly decent as far as precipitation accumulation, which has kept us drought-free. But it stands to reason that might change going forward as we continue to see a lack of precipitation moving into January, at least at this point. Oops, whoopsie daisies. Mouse. I wasn't done with that slide. taking a look at the monthly drought outlook, as far as this is concerned, the only areas it's going to show are areas where a D1 or better drought category exists, which is mainly just this area along the northeastern Utah, northwest Colorado border, which is showing that drought persisting. There's no indication of drought development likely throughout the rest of the area, but we do have these large patches of abnormally dry conditions that could very easily tip over into D1 moderate drought if we should remain dry. So definitely something to pay attention to. Moving into the snowpack update, as I said, doing all right, at least as far as western Colorado is concerned, with most of our basins fairly close to normal, which would be 100%. Definitely a little bit more of a favoring of these northern basins with, the Yampa, White Little Snake, Colorado Headwaters, and Gunnison Basin all close to 100%, with the San Miguel, Dolores, Animas, and San Juan just a little bit lower at 95%. As far as eastern Utah is concerned, though, a little bit of a different story. The northern basins, the northeastern Uintas and the Duchesne Basin, are in that like 90 to 100% of normal range, so close to normal there. But the southeastern Utah, particularly talking about the La Salles and the Abajos and some of the other higher terrain, not doing as well, only at 76% of normal, and that reflects a little bit this La Nina pattern, where northern basins are a little bit more favored in comparison to the southern basins. We haven't seen it necessarily affect the San Juan area yet, but we'll just have to stay tuned and watch. If we continue to see the northern mountains favored over the southern mountains, we could see these basins start to decline. So again, something to keep an eye on. Looking at our January 2025 outlook, as far as temperatures are concerned, there is a slight tendency, so 40 to 50%, towards above normal temperatures for the southern half of the area, with a slightly less tendency, 33 to 40%, across the northern portions of the area. While looking at precipitation, a little bit more scattershot here. So across the four corners, southeast Utah, southwest Colorado, we're seeing a slight tendency towards below normal precipitation. So that's the 33 to 40% towards below normal. Equal chances across the middle of the area, and our northern portions are looking at a slight tendency, so 33 to 40%, again, towards above normal precipitation. And this is very reflective of that La Nina pattern that I was talking about before, where the northern mountains are going to see more favored precipitation chances versus the southern mountains, and kind of in the middle could go either way. We'll definitely have to see how these work out, particularly as of the time of filming this, we're looking at an Arctic air outbreak that's going to swing into the region, at least for a couple of days. So we'll have to see how that affects our numbers for next month. So stay tuned for the January update, new color scheme, new data. It'll be great. So that's it for your December 2024 summary. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you again soon.